This
Bam, we're
random.
live.
Oh, never mind.
No. Say it. They want to hear the shit we talk about when we're not on the air.
Oh, I was gonna just say I found this random like account on Instagram that has like all the old skate footage from like people I used to skate with back in the day.
Oh shit. Are you in there?
I don't know. I haven't like sifted through it. It was like another group that I used to skate with a lot, which is just kind of funny. Anyway,
Send that to me. I want to dig through it too.
I was
I
like
wanna show
reminiscing
Avi.
through it. Oh, okay.
Look at this, more members. Look at this. Kevin Doyle, what's up, dude? Hey, good choice. Very good choice. Jonathan Kuran. Man, you guys are getting a treat now, man. That shit's getting wild. Shit is getting wild. Crazy. I think what's today?
Saturday.
Okay, Saturday.
27th.
So you guys, so Monday episode 8 will come out, and then on Tuesday, maybe we'll release the Wadapalooza footage out from behind the paywall, and then Wednesday, episode 9 will come out.
Sounds good.
I'm not even able to keep up.
Oh yeah, 8 would be Monday, 9 would be Wednesday. Yeah.
I'm not even able to keep up. Hey, did you see that post Dave Castro made of the there was a post Dave Castro made of a gym swimming in water?
It was
someone
it wasn't a gym.
Oh, what was it?
They got flooded, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A flooded gym. That's what I mean. Swimming in water. And it was flooded, and in the Proven account wrote, seems like a good day to program for swimming, right?
Did they delete it?
Yeah, if you go to the top, they changed it. They pulled it down. You got to go up to the top.
I know.
If you go to
I'm looking for the
okay.
old comment.
Oh, all right. Look at you. Stop telling Sousa how to do his job.
Let's go.
I thought it was a funny post. Maybe it's not appropriate from Proven, but like if I would have said it, I would have been.
I said it. SA wrestling. You mean swim lessons? Come on.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Soon. Okay, so you own a gym.
Yeah.
And it's flooded like that, right?
Right.
Is it different coming from Proven versus just like one of the homies?
For sure. Especially like if they don't have a relationship with Proven. Was this reposted from like CrossFit affiliates or something?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure why Dave posted it. Like, is he trying to give them sympathy, or is he trying to? Oh, go check out their page. Oh, okay. He's doing it because if you want to support them with like a GoFundMe, you can do it. That's kind of cool. And it's San Diego. It's his old hood.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a clever thing to say. I mean, obviously it's tragic, but like isn't the internet for clever lines? Oh, Proven being insensitive. But really, you don't like it, Sousa? Are you okay with it?
Nah, if that was my gym, I'd be like, fuck you guys. Like, look at it. Their shit's destroyed, dude.
I understand.
Like, they might not be.
Maybe they need a little humor in their life. Could
be, but maybe they're not coming back from that. Like, I don't know what their insurance is and like everything else, you know? Oh, I guess they are coming back from it.
Oh.
Wow. They got that cleaned up quick. When was that? 3 hours ago?
3 days. This was 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So it must have happened like a week ago or something. Because I think here's the original. It was 4 days ago.
Mm.
And then the next day, they're cleaning it up.
If I'm friends with you and you say it, I'm not tripping at all. At all. If I don't know you, and you're like a big brand like that and you say that, then like, what the fuck? That seems a little weird. Like if Caleb says it or you say it or something like that, it feels like you understand and you're my friend, so you're not taking a jab.
Okay.
The lightheartedness of the situation. But if I don't know you at all, it's just like if Target comes on there and harasses me, I'm like, what the fuck, Target?
Okay, I'm not buying your argument, but the fact that I agree with David concerns me. Super funny. Yeah, okay. That's enough for me to know that I'm way off base. Listen, it's pretty insensitive. Insensitive. I don't even know what that means. Insensitive. It like doesn't show sensitivity. Okay, what if this? Bear with me here.
Okay.
What if they would have said it and they would have given $1,000? What if they had given $1,000 in the GoFundMe and wrote, "This is for bathing suits"?
Okay, that's
Okay.
funny again.
Are we good?
They contributed. So like for you as a friend, or like Caleb as a friend, I know that there'll be some sort of contribution. You guys would be like, "Oh shit, doesn't that suck? Hey, we're calling to check in on you." And then
Like I'd come out there and help them clean it
Dude,
up.
that's horrible right there, by the way. That footage is horrible. That is so scary.
Yeah.
Imagine if those were like any rats running out of your gym or anything coming out at that speed you don't want.
No, definitely not.
People, rats, water, holy shit.
But if it was a donation and they're like, "This is for swimming, for bathing suits," and then left $1,000, I feel like that's different because now they've contributed, you know.
Okay, Christine Young is pretty sensitive. She thought it was funny.
I thought we were asking if it was appropriate, not funny or not. Is it
Okay,
funny or
right.
is it
Okay, right.
appropriate? I don't
Right.
know.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's funny. I don't know if we could deny it.
Okay. What if Pedro what if Pedro in fake news would have been like, San Diego gym tries to install a swimming pool and it tries to combine water classes into their blah blah blah.
Does he finish at the end with, "Hey, about the San Diego thing, you guys could also go link to their FundMe here"? Like,
Okay, all right.
does he contribute or is he just
right.
using it to like platform his own comedy?
What did they comment? They commented something like, "Seems like a good day to program swimming."
Yeah, it's like swimming water.
I am bummed that they took it down because I was so proud of my comment. Did you see my comment? I put proven 19.
Oh my God.
How'd you come up with that one?
Hey, well, I'm just hanging out with some smart friends this week. Hey,
Oh my God, dude. No, that one's funny.
Cool now, don't worry.
That's funny.
That's just a joke on top of a joke, right? That's me being insensitive to Proven's insensitivity.
No, that's 100% purebred comedy. That is.
Melanie Hodge. Good morning, everyone. Sevan, may I just saw you've outdone yourself. Congrats to you and all involved between last night and this morning. I'm on episode 5. Oh, cool. Thank you. Dude, I mean, Patrick Rios is just crushing the editing. And if you want to see Patrick Rios just in full expression of himself, that's the filmmaker's name. Also watch the Wadapalooza event. I mean, he's a beast, man. He is something else. It's so creative. Between him and Will Brandstetter, anyone who has an extra $300,000 to $500,000 a year laying around who wants powerhouses on their staff, contact these guys.
Yeah.
This guy is a freak, man. And what's crazy is he works with this chick, Bella, and together, like, he got his muse right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. He's wild. A great CrossFitter, 200, skinny like a beanpole with the way he wears his clothes too big, but got a 235, 245 pound snatch. Runs marathons. Oh, she's pregnant. Damn.
Yeah, just announced.
She's a special human being. You know what I think? I don't know if this is going to come out right, but Bella, his wife, is have you ever meet anyone who's like, any of you guys ever read the Don Juan series, Carlos Castaneda, the Don Juan series?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's a guy who went to UCLA and he wrote his master's thesis on like mind expanding plants like mushrooms and ayahuasca and shit. And so he goes down to Mexico and there's all this dispute of whether his books are true or not, or whether they're fiction. I think he had his master's taken away from him because people said it was fake, but he ends up hooking up with these Yaqui Indians, Yauqui or something. And he ends up writing these 7 books about his experiences with them. And anyway, it's a group of people, and in them they don't call them witches, but it's a group of these, what do you call like Native American, not like shamans, but there's also like
witch doctors.
I don't know what the word is, but his wife is not a normal human being. She's like, I can't explain it, but if you meet her, you'll know right away. She's like a 1 in a million. She's got like magical powers and shit. She just seems like, I can't really explain. I don't know what the word is. The only word I know is witch, but that has such a negative connotation.
Yeah, don't be insensitive.
Yeah, I won't be insensitive. But she can for sure do, like, I don't know. she's in. Okay, fine. She's in touch with the angels. How's that? Like she has something. If there are angels there hanging out with her, like she can do magical shit. Yeah, she seems like an Earth Mother. Yeah, like she could manifest shit. So like if you're a dude, you want a woman like that. If you're a guy, like good shit, not a gypsy. It's but she could be super dangerous too. It's not I don't know. I can't explain it. You have to. I can't explain it. But anyway, incredible people, and they went over to Wadapalooza with CA Peptides money, and they put together that doc, and it's a complete game changer. It's a it's a complete game changer. Okay. Did you guys see them? Did you guys ever see Every Second Counts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Caleb, the notes have gotten so long now that you have to open them in another window. Did you see that?
This isn't the first time that's happened, but I appreciate the comment about it.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, and it's down at the bottom. Matt Murski was in Every Second Counts, and he was the guy who was very creative, and from the top of his
it's like the hang clean. He was like bouncing it and catching it, right?
Yeah, right. It was the final workout. It was the 155 Grace, and he would drop it and catch it, and then when it bounced, he would catch it in the deep squat. I thought it was brilliant and an amazing expression of athleticism. And while he's doing that, Dave has a microphone, and he's sitting on top of this dirt hill overlooking the floor, and he yells at him to start over. Mm. So he says none of those count, and Matt Murski has to start all over. And this guy was a fucking brick shithouse. Maybe he was a starting linebacker at Texas A&M. He was a freak of nature. His body was crazy. He's the kind of guy, if you gave him 20 feet and he ran at you and hit you, he'd kill you. Anyway, so he has 3 kids, and this is so sad and so crazy what's happening. There is it sounds like he had a really violent wife, and she was being physically abusive to him.
Oh.
And then she sued him, and they got a divorce. And somehow the fact that she filed the divorce proceedings instead of him plays some sort of role. Who files it, which is crazy. Like it somehow gave her one up. But if this story is accurate, which is the only story we have, he's getting fucked. She basically sued him. He went to court, and the fucking judge is a psycho. She said, you only have 1 hour between the two of you guys to tell me your stories. He ended up only getting 8 minutes on the stand, and the wife got 40. And the judge was critiquing him for talking too fast when his lawyer told him to talk fast because you have a very limited amount of time. And then afterwards, they have somehow someone got footage of the judge talking and calling. I don't know if it was him or someone else calling someone else a dickhead, and then later on saying she wanted to throat punch both the husband and the wife.
A judge said that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And they caught it all. Like she doesn't know she's being recorded. She's like telling the bailiff that and the court reporter that.
Whoa.
Olivia, the judge always sides with the woman. It's crazy. If you get a chance, go over here and check this video out. The video is on YouTube. It's called "Family Injustice Thrown in Jail," and it looks like the judge. So he can't afford to keep his CrossFit gym open because of the lawsuit and COVID. So his gym closes, and then the judge says that he owes her $67,000, and he has to move back in with his dad, and he can't pay it. So now he's ended up in jail. Yeah, somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's the judge calling him a dickhead. Here we go.
Called a parent in a custody hearing a dickhead just because he drove a Corvette. Seriously.
Yeah. Corvette, yeah. Dickhead.
How you feel? At least she then showed her disdain for both parents after they had left her courtroom. She's real sweet.
Absolutely. I wanted to throat punch both of them. And I didn't have a big enough ring. This one's too flat.
It was a rare
I wanted to throat punch both of them, but I didn't have a big enough ring. This one's too flat. And she calls him a dickhead because he drives a Corvette.
Wow.
No, I think this is Texas. I wish it was California. My mom was a divorce attorney, and there's two things she told me that I'll never forget. She said most divorces were around money. Oh, and that's what it was. That's what their divorce sounds like. Their divorce was too. She kept running up all the credit cards. So she'd run up the credit cards, he'd pay them off. She'd run them up again, he'd pay them off, and they were having disputes because of her spending. And so my mom told me that the main reason people get a divorce is finances. And then she told me, she said, you never want to go to court. She said, because once you want to always try to settle out of court, because once you go to court, you have no idea what's going to happen.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Fuck. Yeah.
Along that same line, this story's 8 months old, but I just saw it today while I was sitting on the shitter. Did you see what happened to Steven Crowder?
Wait, is it something with his wife too?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I saw something like brewing like months back where he was like emotionally abusive to her. Is this the same thread?
Yeah. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, God, I would not want a camera in my house when me and my wife are talking.
No.
I would not want a camera in my house when me and my wife are talking. But I
did see this. This is old, right?
Yeah, there's a camera. So if those of you don't know who Steven Crowder is, he's kind of like Charlie Kirk. He goes out in public and he sits on a desk like on college campuses, and he'll say stuff like, if you're either born a man or a woman, prove me wrong, or some shit like that. And then people will come up to him, and his fucking mind is sharp as a fucking tack. And someone was saying he's addicted to Adderall. I don't know if he is or if he isn't, but he's got that kind of Adderall sharpness to him. That's for sure. Anyway, so this is his pregnant wife, and they're basically arguing. And at one point in the video, the only part that I saw, he says, hey, I think she's trying to leave the house, and she's being very calm. And she says, hey, I need some space. And he says something along the lines of hey, if you leave the house, I'm going to fuck you up. And man, I saw Candace Owens talking about it. And her take was that, hey, we shouldn't defend everyone for everything, even if they have, if we believe in their, like, if we stand by Steven Crowder for his thinking and his political beliefs and his logic, that doesn't mean that we give him carte blanche on being abusive to his wife. But I struggled with this because it's just like, how does this get out? How the fuck did this get out? How does a video like this get out?
I always think that it has something to do with like the server it's going back to, and like people on the other side knowing who's the camera belongs to and looking through the footage.
You don't think she released it?
I mean, that would be the obvious guess, is that she took it and she released it. But if it wasn't her, then that's what I would assume.
He looks like he might be on a little testosterone too. The dude's a beast.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's the beard or if he's getting fluffy.
That's a big dude, right? Look at his arms. Look at his arms in the shirt.
Yeah.
That's a big dude. That's a stout dude. That dude hits the gym, right?
I think, yeah.
You don't see arms in someone's shirt like that.
Yeah, unless they work out for sure.
But a lot, yeah. Oh shit, Adam Vancourt, the wife's team released it to get sway in court. Holy shit.
Oh, there you go. You're right.
Man. Kenneth Delap, did you all see the news coming out about Vince McMahon? He's a piece of garbage. What did he do? What did Vince do?
Sexual assault allegations, I think. And then he just resigned from being the commissioner of the WWE because of them.
Was his wife making the allegations?
No, it was somebody working in the WWE as well.
And he's juiced to the gills too.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was a little kid and I watched, and he was just a little pinner, and then all of a sudden he's fucking a monster. All of a sudden his suits don't fit him. He looked like he put on like 20 pounds of muscle. The co-founder of the World Wrestling Entertainment stepped down from his parent company board one day after ex-employee accused him of sexual assault in a lawsuit. He's got to be really
how do you
old
go from
too.
sex trafficking to sexual assault?
What is sex that probably that term is like if you fucking drive across the border with someone, or it's probably something like that. It's like it's probably kind of along those lines of people who are on Megan's list, but they just got caught peeing in public. You know what I mean? It's just
that should not be a thing.
McMahon, 78, was the executive chairman of TKO Group, the parent company of WWE, where he no longer held a formal position. WWE employees were informed of the changes in an email sent out. The lawsuit filed on Thursday in U.S. District Court in Connecticut accuses McMahon of trafficking the employee, as well as physically and emotionally abusing her. The graphic complaint, which also named, what is the graphic complaint? I always want to know what the complaint is. And it's important because during the Me Too movement, there were girlfriends accusing their boyfriends of Me Too when all the guy did was ask for a blowjob. He spent $14.6 million in payments to a woman who had accused him of sexual misconduct. Sexual misconduct. One was a former wrestler who said McMahon had coerced her into giving him oral sex and then later decided not to renew her contract. Wow. Coerced her into giving oral sex. I'd love to hear the details of that. Further company investigation found that he had made an additional $5 million in payments to 2 women. What does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Coerced? Like if you say, "Hey, I'll give you a job if you suck my dick," you can't do that. That's illegal.
I think so. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's illegal. Yeah.
And why is that illegal? That's like along the lines of like prostitution. You're paying for sex.
Well, I think there's also like the whole thing. If you're the boss, there's some sort of like power play there where they could claim like I didn't feel like I had a choice because you were the boss, so I was like pressured into doing something I actually didn't really want to do.
Okay, what if they said, "Hey, if you don't take these drugs, you don't get to keep your job"?
I think that would be the same thing, right? Like you're forcing somebody against their will to do something and using your position of power and their livelihood or job like over them to get them to act or behave in a way that they didn't want to.
So what if you fired them? What if you fired someone and then said, you have an employee and you fire them, and then you say afterwards, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you blow me." Then that would be prostitution. You can't do that either, right? You can't pay
like
someone.
Soliciting prostitution, is that what that is?
Okay, and then what if you're like, "Hey, I want do you want to be in my porn movie? And I'll give you $50 to blow me on camera."
But not working for each other. You just approach a random stranger in the grocery store.
Yeah. Like, "Hey, I'm a porn director. Will you blow me for $50? Is that illegal?
Probably inappropriate, but I don't know if that's illegal.
It's weird, right? These nuances. I wonder what the rules are around pornography. Why wouldn't you just film everything you're doing so that you could just say it's pornography? And then you're just in the business.
It's like a loophole. There's just like a webcam that you could just fall back on and post to a site.
Yeah.
Was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Jake Chapman, if everyone had to do it, it would be company policy. If there are different options for efferent people, that's the difference, I guess. Oh, okay. That's interesting too.
Yeah. Sleeky says consent, but if it's posed as a question and they say yes, then is that consent?
Pool boy, I heard some countries have laws where prostitution is okay, but the act of purchasing a prostitute is illegal. That's a really weird sentence, but I remember it was like that in California for a while. It was okay to smoke weed. This is before it was legal, but it wasn't okay to sell weed.
Yeah, you could like possess a certain amount, but you can't sell it or buy a certain amount. It would be just caught on you, right?
Yeah.
So you could just buy a candy bar with a free bud.
Or you could just grow it in your yard and be outside smoking it, but the second you took money for it, it was illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. It was very
and then there's and then I don't know, did you see the Trump thing that went down? This chick it happened yesterday. This chick, Eugene Carroll, I think I saw the 60 Minutes video on it. Back in 1996, she went clothes shopping with Donald Trump. He took her clothes shopping, and they were in the dressing room, and she claims that he put his dick in her without her wanting it in the dressing room of some department store. And so now she sued him.
Jeez.
And she got two different piles of money. One was the fact that he defamed her, meaning he was talking shit about her. And then the other one was for the sticking his dick in her. Donald Trump was ordered by federal jury on Friday to pay $83.3 million in damages to E. Jean Carroll, who accused the former president of destroying her reputation as a trustworthy journalist by denying he raped her nearly 3 decades ago. Isn't it amazing? She accused him of rape, but he defamed her.
And when did her accusation come out?
The jury, the last time he ran for president, as I recall. The Carroll 80 sued Trump in 2019 over his denials 5 months earlier that he had raped her. Oh, he was sued for his denial? In the mid-1990s in a Bergdorf Goodman department store dressing room in Manhattan. Okay, so I did remember that right. Trump 77 claimed that he had never heard of Carroll and that she made up the story to boost sales of her memoir. She has a memoir, and it's a kind of a crazy title, Who Needs Men? And then she got another 60 million basically in punitive, which means because he talks shit about her and then other people talk shit about her, he kind of incited a riot. I'm using that term kind of tongue in cheek against her. He got it. So all the media, and they're saying that he has to pay 60 some odd million for that. Another jury last May ordered Trump to pay Carroll $5 million over a similar October 22 denial, finding that he had defamed and sexually abused Carroll. I wonder what that means, abused. I mean, did he rape her or?
Wait, isn't that a criminal case then? Because this is all civil. Them suing each other is civil cases, right?
I heard that it passed the statutory limits of.
Oh, the limits. See, all that shit just seems weird to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it? The whole thing just seem off.
Trump faces 91 felony counts and 4 criminal indictments, including 2 cases accusing him of trying to illegally overturn the 2020 election. He's pleaded not guilty in all the cases and has portrayed himself as a victim of political motivated lies and out of controlled judicial system. Well, we know that part of that's true, 100%. And now it's all mixed up with stuff that might be true. The lawyer was a Clinton appointed lawyer
for the accuser.
Yeah,
the chick.
Yeah, the one who the 80 million. The worst fact, the fact that we had a celebrity for president, or that we are close to electing him again, just because there are no better options. I'm just not in that camp. I'm okay with Trump. That whole trial was fucked up. The timelines, but all my friends think it's just, I'm gonna get to that in a second. The whole trial was fucked up. The timelines don't match. The judge wouldn't allow defense docs, etc. That's similar with the George Floyd. So many people who are voting for Trump are saying they're doing it just to get Biden out, or just because it's the we don't have a better choice. I don't know. I'm not in that camp.
You think he's the best choice?
I think he's going to do an amazing job. I think he'll get I think he'll get us energy independent. I think he'll close the border. I think that he will fight against child abuse and child endangerment and all those things that they're bringing into our schools. Like, did you see what happened in Maine last year?
No.
I wonder if I have a link to that. Maybe I'll send you a link to that. In Maine, there was a girl who was given Zoloft by the counselors at school without telling the dad.
Oh.
She's a senior in high school. It's a program called oh, damn, Caleb. A Maine dad says high school clinic sent 17-year-old daughter home with secret baggie of Zoloft. Sick Child Protective Services on him for complaining. You can't just give my daughter pills in a Ziploc baggie and send them home, said Eric Sack. This is a fucking crazy story. So there are 3,000 of these in the United States. They're called they're at our kids' high schools. They're like, there's a word for it. It's like federally funded health clinic. Yeah. It's a federally funded health clinic, and they're in our school. They're in kids' schools, and there's 3,000 of them around the United States. So kids can go get medical care at their high school. It's operating within the Lawrence High School, provided his minor daughter with a baggie of prescription and antidepressants without his knowledge or consent. When the girl's father, Eric Sack, discovered the baggie of pills over the weekend, his daughter told him that it was provided by her Bulldog Health Center, a school-based health center. Sack saw the pills as an infringement on his parental rights. Like, imagine you send your kid to school and they prescribe them fucking drugs. It was an unlabeled drugs with no child-resistant container in his home.
Zoloft, no less. Not like Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything. Just gonna dish out Zoloft.
They can't even. You know if you're on a flight somewhere. Like I was on a flight one time, and my sinuses were fucking killing me. And I went to the stewardess, and I said, "Hey, do you have any blah blah blah?" And she said, "Sorry, I can't give you that." And then she set it down on a counter and walked away.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool stewardess.
Yeah,
cool flight attendant.
That's really, really cool, actually.
Can I see more of that? Can I see more of that, Caleb? That article. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. This is what Zoloft is. It can treat depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. What the fuck is that? Social anxiety and panic. And you know that the side effects are going to be like suicide. You know that.
My wife just tried to wrestle a 250-pound woman to the ground who was trying to kill herself on Xanax and Tylenol.
Holy shit!
Yeah, she came home and told me that story. It was fucking amazing. She's awesome.
He called Lawrence High School principal Dan Bowers to complain about the undisclosed drug treatment the school clinic gave his daughter, but Bowers insisted SBHC was a separate entity from the school and not under his control. Bowers did not respond to a phone call and an email seeking comment. Oh, is this the bag? Holy shit, dude.
That's a lab sample bag. Not even in a bottle. Like no label or anything. Doesn't say like, oh, this is for that kid. And you should only take it for this many times and it expires on this date and this is the dose. And
homeschool. By the way, once you start looking into this, you'll see that there's like the shit that it's giving kids like hormone blockers and start getting them down the line of chopping off their penises. Oh, this school also handed out binders for chicks to bind their tits down.
Binders?
Yeah,
hey, but
I think
this
has
called. Been like a slowly happening over time, right? Like if you think about it, hey, we got a caller. This has been happening slowly over time. I remember them like pulling me aside a lot and being like, oh, we're going to test you for attention deficit disorder because you don't want to sit still in these boring ass classes.
I remember that shit too.
As close as we could all the way up. And they would do this whole thing of convincing my mom that I needed these drugs. And the only reason I wasn't put on those drugs is because when my dad showed up, he was like, I'm going to take advice from you and you. What the fuck are you doing with your lives? I'm not taking advice from you guys. We're not taking any drugs. And that was the end of that. Caller, hi.
Hey, good morning. Frank Fornback. Just two questions. Curious what Sevan's take on RFK Jr. is from a political perspective. I feel like RFK aligns with him even better than Trump. And
he's woke though on the race issue. He's woke as fuck. He's racist as fuck.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, he's racist as fuck. He's very articulate on the vaccine issue, and then as soon as you ask him about race, he says it's a complicated issue. And he starts hemming and hawing, but so many of my conservative friends love him. But that my feeling on him is, I see him as a bigot and a racist, unfortunately. But go on. Sorry, Frank. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, that's. I was just curious on that and how you felt about it. But I was also curious. I listened to your episode with Dale Sarin, and I'm curious about. He kind of alluded that the privilege was CrossFit's on the NDA for the NSCA lawsuit settlement. So if affiliate owners were to buy CrossFit, wouldn't they have the ability to then, as owners, every affiliate owner who was an owner, be able to see the details of that settlement? I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Oh, that I would remind me next time Dale's on. I'll ask him that. That's very interesting.
Okay. Cool.
That's very, very interesting. I really want to see that. It would be cool to get Eric Rosa on the podcast, or whoever made the decision to settle the case, and find out why they settled it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
Because
they'll
it
never
also
tell you
had
they
such
can't 'cause of the NDA.
it also had such great brand value. Like, I love the fact that Don was Marine Recon. I love the fact that Dave was a SEAL Team 6 operator. These things, I think, add tremendous brand value to the name CrossFit. Just like Nicole Carroll, when she was doing the overhead squats against the guys who are 5 times as strong as her and beating her, those things add tremendous brand value. And that case was awesome because it just showed, like, we were the big dick in the room. We were Yosemite Sam.
Well, and how do we go from, Greg saying, the one thing I want out of this is for it to never be sealed, to settling with no details on it? Just blows my mind.
Yeah. That should have never been settled. That should have just been milked for brand value. I mean, there's so many great things happening at CrossFit that don't get taken advantage of to build the brand. So but that one was massive, right? We're the leading CrossFit's the leading educational system for health and fitness worldwide, and the one competitor that has political ties that's a problem to CrossFit HQ and to all the affiliates had them in a fucking headlock, and with a judge, what did Dale call it, terminating sanctions, meaning the case wasn't even going to be tried. The judge already had decided that they lost, and the jury was just going to determine the cost of the payment, the settlement, but they still weren't close to finishing the case because Greg wanted to continue to do discovery on their dime, and they let him go. It's bizarre. I can't make any sense of it other than it was nefarious.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like all the evidence exposed the corruption in the nutrition science field, and with the NSCA, and shouldn't have that been public? And I know Greg made lots of videos about it, but I don't know. It seemed like it didn't quite get out there like it should have.
Yeah, this is Greg's words. It was a museum quality specimen of scientific corruption, just perfectly laid out. I mean, it's exactly what you want to see if you went into a museum at the Smithsonian. They're like, this is what scientific corruption looks like. This is what the use of the courts looks like. And then just lay it all out on a wall and show the timeline. It would have been epic. Epic.
If you're ever going to spend money on a Super Bowl ad, that should have been it. And just put
Yeah,
the
hey,
out of it. Take that $100 million from the settlement.
Hey, you're right. If you could tell that story in a minute, that would be so fucking potent as a commercial. I never even thought of that. Hey, you know what else it would be? You know what Greg wanted to do? And I mean this. He was a big fan of the South Park guys in the Book of Mormon Broadway play. And I don't know, I think that's the most successful Broadway play in the history of Broadway. It made those guys hundreds of millions of dollars. But he wanted the NSCA case to be turned into a musical, a Broadway performance. And that would have been fucking epic. That would have been epic.
I think the whole CrossFit story, and you could do a whole, one of those crazy murder mystery things, but you make it, you do it about that case, and it's like every episode you're like, what?
Yeah.
About CrossFit and total.
Tiger King, it's like Tiger King.
Yeah, totally.
You saw that crazy documentary.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
But that would make a good series, though. The rise and fall of CrossFit.
Or
just
just
like all the characters.
Or the fall of the NSCA would be a great Broadway play. Holy shit. Ryan Stokes, no. So I just saw 35%, and that's why I clicked it. Ryan Stokes, the fact of the matter with all politics, only 35% of the population actually votes. Until that changes, nothing will change. The same guys will get in. We've gone over this, ad nauseum. We know that the KKK were Democrats. We know that the entire South, in the enslavement of colored people, was all Democrats. We know that it was FDR who wasn't letting the Jews in as they were trying to get to Ellis Island. We know that it was the Democrats who built the internment camps for the Japanese We know it's the Democrats that want to let people into college based on their skin color. We know all that. Like, and for some reason, it just doesn't. People still don't want to come to terms with what's really going on here. But if you, another one of the poster children for the Democrats is a woman named Margaret Sanger. And unfortunately, they don't want her as a poster child, but she is the founder of Planned Parenthood. And she is a very, very dangerous person. There are some crazy, crazy stats. For every 2 black kids born, 1 is killed in the United States of America. Let me say that to you again. For every 2 melanated babies that's born, 1 baby is killed. Go ahead and play this. This is wild. Here we go.
Said this, there should be a national sterilization for certain dysgenic types of our population who are being encouraged to breed and would die out were the government not feeding them. Was it A, Adolf Hitler, B, Joseph Stalin, C, Fidel Castro, or D, someone else?
Hitler.
Adolf Hitler? Someone else. I feel like all of them would have said that.
Someone else.
Yo, last one. I accepted an invitation to talk to the Ku Klux Klan. Was it your boy Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jeffrey Epstein, or Margaret Sanger?
Joe Biden.
Donald Trump?
Donald Trump. Who's Margaret Sanger?
The founder of Planned Parenthood.
Hopefully it was not Margaret Sanger. But I'm Margaret Sanger. I'm going to go chaotic.
All 3 of those quotes were hers. Why is it that the founder of Planned Parenthood, the leading abortion provider, sounds more like an unhinged dictator or racist than a healthcare?
Oh, okay, I'm going to give you your money back.
When it comes to black people, they don't want us like multiplying anymore.
I support Planned Parenthood.
All 3 of these are her quotes, not taken out of context. 2 of those were in her book. She wrote them herself.
But
why is it always the white?
Oh, stop.
Boys?
Oh, stop. Oh, stop, bitch. Stop. It's not the white liberal boys. Hey, can you look up dysgenic for me? Dysgenic. So basically, Margaret Sanger was saying, hey, let's help these people die out. And who do you think she was talking about? Effects on later generations through the inheritance of undesirable characteristics. Who do you think she was talking about?
I thought she was defending women's health care.
Right.
Isn't that the thing?
Isn't that a wild spin?
Healthcare?
Reproductive rights, affirmative action, it's always gender affirmation care. It's always a lie. It's always a lie. It's
Hey,
they
what's gonna
just
happen?
fuck with words. They just fuck with words. They just change the definition. They just rebrand shit.
Of course, yeah. It's the easy play. Just put a new label on it, put a new narrative behind it, and put it out there.
Yeah. Gender affirmation care. I made this post the other day showing that CBS said that gender affirmation care was vetoed. And I posted it. I'm like, say what it really is. And someone's like, and someone didn't get it. Hey, if you go to places where there's unbiased media, they tell you exactly what it is. Gender affirmation care. That's not what that is.
Yeah, because if you were explained exactly what it is, most people probably wouldn't agree with it. So you just have to package it in a way that most people don't actually understand what they're saying yes or no to.
Right. Or you're appealing to a feeling of theirs instead of what's actually happening.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was like you've seen it in Florida where they said like the "Don't Say Gay" bill and like manipulated that, and it had nothing to do with it, right? Like abortion boils down to pro-choice or pro-life, which is packaged terribly, right? Like you've also see all the political movements like Black Lives Matter, because that's packaged in a way that you can't possibly be against it, because by being against it, you've labeled yourself a certain type of person, right?
Right.
So it's all this. That's just how it's done. It's the easiest way to do it.
Christine Parham. Sevan, thoughts on IVF and surrogacy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have any strong feelings on it. I just if my wife couldn't have had kids, we wouldn't have had kids. I don't think that most people have the level of self-reflection and awareness to even know why they have kids. I don't think people know why they get tattoos or piercings. I don't think people know why they put their shoes on in the morning. And I think you know, I think most people are just going around reacting from one thing to the next in the matrix. So I don't, I would just encourage, people to self-reflect and see why they're making decisions. Why are you bringing your right hand to your face to scratch your cheek? Why aren't you just watching the sensation? Because it's uncomfortable. So everything that's uncomfortable, you avoid. So you can't have kids. And so that's uncomfortable. So you immediately, instead of looking at that, why is that uncomfortable? You immediately, I think what happens is people don't look why that's uncomfortable and they immediately address it. And so that's why we have so few people with wisdom in the world, because right under that first layer is where wisdom exists. 12 daily doses. Do Black people get more abortions because they don't have access to birth control, or because they just want to kill babies? The or is a is completely misleading. It's not an or. That's just word fuckery. That's just manipulation. Or is Donald Trump a rapist or a pedophile? Or like what with 12 daily doses, are you you know, the or thing is just stupid. I'm not doing the or thing. Tell me exactly what you're trying to ask. That's the left talk right there. You see it, right?
Yeah. It's a leading question.
Maybe your question would be like, hey, if everyone had greater access to birth control, would there be fewer abortions? And then I could be like, hey, dude, black people can walk into any CVS and walk out with anything they want and not get arrested. They have greater access to birth control. How's that?
Hey, what's going to happen, and I think this is going to happen sooner rather than later, where you can make a bunch of adjustments to your child before they're being born, when they have like that CRISPR, that gene editing ability. So now
It's called, is it called a CRISPR? It's called a CRISPR.
I think it's called CRISPR.
And, what's it called, Caleb? What did you say?
CRISPR is what it's called. Genome editing.
So then you could go in and be like, hey, I've always wanted blue eyes, but everybody in my family had brown eyes. So now we want you to have blue eyes. And oh, by the way, there's this new thing that I could afford, which allows you to see like, you know, like an eagle or something crazy, because we found out how to edit that into your genes, and we'll take away your ability to have all these things that you're predispositioned to. And we'll give you the ability to grow muscle twice as fast. So you'll be super strong.
If I was born with better eyes, this would be. I don't want to
go like, and the point being is like, I think we're just starting down this road of like the moral debate of how much autonomy, should we have over ourselves and our offspring, because pretty soon the options will be wild. Hey, you've always wanted a boy. Now
what are the implications? What are the implications of that? I personally wouldn't do that.
Well,
I personally wouldn't tinker with that. If they were like, hey, Sevan, we can do such and such, and your kid would be 4 inches taller, I would not do that.
Yeah, and I think what's going to happen is it's going to first happen to people who could afford to be able to do it, right? So once there's a certain amount of like, we kind of think this works and it's safe, you're going to get all these rich people that'll come in because they want to manipulate the genes and they can afford to do it in an early stage. And then like anything else, whoever does it, whether it's CRISPR or something else, will use that as branding, and it'll just turn into a consumer thing. You want to be like the elite? They could see further than you. They live longer than you. Their skin's healthier than you.
Yeah.
Be like the elite, and you could buy your level of CRISPR and get in with your kid, right?
Have you seen Altered Carbon? Have you seen Altered Carbon?
No, is it a movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's a TV series on Netflix, but it's like a sci-fi type thing where they create bodies for people and they just insert like a little, like your mind into the body. And so then like the rich people live forever, but the people who don't have any money are just like, they'll just die normal human deaths. So like eventually maybe we'll turn into like we have just fleshy bodies that we can insert our consciousness into, and then everybody else.
Wow.
Like
it's a trip. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah, they're talking about like downloading your conscious essentially to like a computer system and then uploading
God, that
it.
would
So
scare the shit out of me.
Well, that's I think like we're just on this like precipice of like we're still like super like early to where now it's like, do you want us to suck your kid out with this vacuum or no? Because now we have this option, right? Like they didn't exist that long ago. You just hope to have the kid and it lived past 5. And so I just think we're just like entering this ability to make these decisions that we have never had access to before. And I think Rosie put in here like God's plan. The one thing that I always think about, like if you go down that route of,
but it's all God's plan. But it's all God's plan. The CRISPR's God's plan. It's all God's plan.
That's my point.
By the way, that's the whole Courtney Hunt thing too. She thinks what's going to happen is we're going to get to be where there's supercomputers. And for those of you who don't know what supercomputers are, I can give you my primitive understanding. Right now, anytime a computer does something, a task, or it has a symbol, or it wants to do anything, it has to assign characters to it, and it only has 2 characters it can work with, ones and O's. And so those lines, those assignments can get really, really long and bog down the speed in which computers work. A supercomputer would be able to assign all sorts of different characters to just individual things. So you might have a whole alphabet to assign to. And when they can do that, they'll be able to move at speeds that are fucking gazillions of times faster than they're working now. And when they can do that, they'll be able to manipulate the world at a smaller and smaller level. Does that make sense? So imagine everything's made of Legos, and with our current computers, we can only manipulate the Legos. But with supercomputers, whatever the Legos are made of, you'll be able to manipulate the world at that level. And what she's suggesting is once we get a by the way, there won't be any security once we get supercomputers either. Every password, everything will be broken overnight. Once they're supercomputers, there's the security fucking system just completely breaks down as we have it. Because the computers can obviously sift through so many fucking options so much quicker. But what she's suggesting is that when we get a computer that can do that, that it can actually make a zygote, that it can actually it can manipulate things at such a small level that it could create a sperm and create an egg and fucking bring them together. And so that I think that's the kind of shit that's like, whoa, now and I don't know if that's sci-fi or not. It sounds like sci-fi, but no, Ryan Stokes. I'm very fortunate and blessed. My 18-year-old mother decided to put me up for adoption. I was talking to someone the other day about abortion, and it was going really, really well. They were completely pro-choice, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pro-choice too. And then they said, I said, because you think it's a woman's right, and they said, yeah. And I said, but I also see that it's killing a baby. What do you think about that? And they said, yeah, it is killing a baby. And I said, okay, cool. And then they said, but just imagine if all those babies that were being had were had, what would our society be like? And they started saying, like, they went into this doomsday story. If all the babies were actually born, what the world would be like. And I'm like, well, now you're justifying killing kids.
With like a made up doomsday scenario.
Yeah. Now we're not talking about what's right or wrong. You're justifying the killing of babies. And that was the end of the conversation. They didn't want to have it anymore.
Because they realized.
I wonder if there's anyone who, I guess there's probably someone, if there's anyone who wishes they were aborted. Hey, Sleeky, I know, but here's the thing. That's all of them. If you can get any of them into a conversation like that, that's how it always goes. They can't talk about the issue. They just start justifying it. Khabib Nurmagomedov. He was in the UFC. He was their, I think, arguably their greatest fighter. I want to say he was 20-0 or 30-0, which is just fucking absolutely insane for a UFC fighter. He came from Dagestan, and it says Khabib Nurmagomedov revealed how much money he rejected for a UFC return. Anyone have any guesses before we show you? How much money he was offered to come back and fight at UFC 300?
How much is 8 figures?
15 million? No.
And for those of you who don't know, UFC fighters are usually paid like, a UFC fighter like in the like when you watch it at the pay-per-view event, the guy who fights first in the early prelims might get like $15,000 or $20,000, and the champ might get like $1 million for fighting. The champ, and then the guy who who's the guy who challenged. And the champ might get $1 million, and the challenger might get 700,000, and then they get a little cut. The champ gets a little cut of the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Guesses 500,000.
I said 15 million.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has to be the first combat sports athlete to reject a reported $40 million to make his return. When Cormier told this to Ben Askren, the former UFC star couldn't believe it. Before folks come out to say Khabib meant 14 million and there was an error of pronunciation on his behalf. No, DC repeated this multiple times. Nurmagomedov did say 40 million. This means that anybody who keeps on dreaming of watching him fight one more time should keep their expectations extremely low. 12 daily doses. Millions are against abortion until their kids get pregnant. Then it really hits. I think it's the opposite way. I would be curious to see which one of us is right. I think people that probably, I have a friend who tried to get an abortion and they thought they got an abortion and then they had their kid. And to this day, they're like, holy shit, I'm so glad I had the kid.
How do you think you have an abortion and then not have one?
That's a great question.
I don't want to go into the detail. This person went to the abortion center, had the baby vacuumed out, then called and had it confirmed, had their doctor call that doctor and had it confirmed, and then the baby was still in there. So maybe it was twins.
You want to talk about medical malpractice? There you go.
Fuck.
But I can't. I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone's like. I can't imagine. I personally can't imagine having the kid. I can imagine going the opposite of what 12 daily doses is saying. You have the kids, and then you're like, "Thank God I had the kid." So, do you know anyone who's ever regretted having their child? No, but I don't. Even if I did regret having my child, I wouldn't let those words come out of my mouth. Me personally.
I think you see it through people's actions.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't like say that out loud. I'd push that down.
Yeah. Well, there's also people that could be like, fuck, life was so much easier before you kids, but then it's like a completely loving family and completely fine. Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to the one person that's being like, my babies mean the most to me. And then like they're like shoved in the corner with no, care or anything like that. You're like, well, you're saying that, but we're seeing the opposite.
People look for this like this perfect life, and yet the only things you remember is the exciting shit, the challenging shit. So I've ridden in an Uber 1,000 times, but I only remember the Uber driver who peed, the 500-pound Uber driver who peed in a Gatorade bottle when I was in there. And
Caller, do you have any UFC Uber stories?
Do we have a caller?
Yeah, they just came on now.
Hey,
caller, hi.
Yeah, good morning, Sevan. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Good morning, Caleb. Hey, so has 12 daily doses ever been around people? I mean, the guys
like other humans.
Takes, yeah. Like all these hot takes that he has shows that he has like zero experience in the world.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example? You mean like the hot take of like people have kids and then wish they didn't, and then it's like, wait, dude, who have you been around?
that one, yeah. But also to say that Black and brown people have less access to birth control and contraceptive, like they don't pass them out in affluent schools. They pass out that stuff in low income schools because the parents aren't involved and the parents aren't going to make a stink about it, so they get away with it. And so they think they're doing a service, but they're really just usurping the power from the parents. But whatever, it's a bigger conversation, but it does not happen in affluent areas as much as it happens in these broken communities. That's where all the help goes. So for a guy like this, or lady, I don't know what he is, he, she, I just know he's kind of a moron. Yeah.
Fair assessment.
That's my hot take on the guy. And then
fair assessment.
I want to push back one little bit because I have engaged with some people whose parents have said to them, I wish I would have aborted you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's a real thing. It's not common, but these are still. It doesn't matter. It does not matter because these people are adults. They're adjusted into society. They have some trauma from this, just like anybody else would have some hardships. It's a shame it's coming from their parents, but to say that life is less valuable because their parent is telling them that they should have been aborted, like it does not matter. They're in the world, they're human, they're valued. Like, so both takes are stupid.
Hey, have you ever had sex when you didn't want?
Have
you ever had sex when you didn't want to?
No, I'm a dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's fair. I hear you. And what about this? Have you ever had sex? Ever had sex you didn't want to, but then once you got into it, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did this. Like, I'm glad I woke up from this slumber. I'm glad I did it. Or you just always wanted to from the get go.
Repackaged the same question.
100%. There's a part.
Yeah, because
there's that always wants to. Yeah.
Right. I mean, right. There was this one girl in college who came to my house, and she's like, "Hey, I'm a virgin, and I want you to be my first." And I wish I wouldn't have had sex with her. Afterwards, I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Let me give you a little context why I answer the way I do. I've only ever been with my wife.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 20 years.
Hey,
but
can I tell you something? Yeah. Someone else told me that the other day on the show, and I think that's fucking so noble and so fucking cool. I think it's fucking. I think it's awesome.
Well,
like you probably were. I'm guessing that you probably, when the last guy said it, I wanted to ask him, like, hey, do you ever wonder what it's like having sex with other people? But then I was like, why do I want to plant that seed in his head? But since you're on here, I lack the discipline to push that question down. Do you ever wish do you ever like, fuck, dude?
Hey, so you wouldn't be the first to like put that seed in anybody's head. That's just guy talk. That's what happens.
Yeah, okay, right.
That's true.
So my saving grace as a teenager was that I was goofball. Like nobody was interested. I wanted it as bad as anybody else. Nobody was interested in me.
Right. Me too. Yeah.
Became a Christian.
Hey, were you a friend to like? Did you have like 10 girls you talked to every night who were your friends, and all they did is talk to you about other guys? I was that guy.
I was not that guy.
Oh, I was so close, but not even close at all. I was like standing on the other side of a vault from them, but I could hear them with perfect fidelity. It sucked.
No, getting a hug or a hand on the shoulder, that was enough to put me on cloud 9 for the whole year.
Right.
I was not. Yeah, I was not a cool dude. But yeah. What was your point? I'm sorry.
You were going to basically say you hadn't slept with anyone your whole life, besides your wife.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I don't. There's no point to it.
Right.
Like I got a PhD. There's no point in it.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. And I want to say with 82% accuracy, you're missing nothing, and that all the others are it's just fleeting anyway. So with 82% accuracy, I said you've made the right choice.
Yeah, fleeting is a good word for it.
Yeah, it's just fleeting.
Yeah. It's a moment. It's a momentary pleasure, and then you're chasing after it with somebody else, and I just have it full time.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations. That's a great story. Do you have kids?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Kenneth DeLapp, Sevan would be a terrible first dude. You don't even know. Worse than terrible. Fuck, dude.
Hey, I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great one. Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
Okay, bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Worst. Fuck.
For the record, I wasn't laughing at him. Caleb did the soundbite, and I couldn't help it. I tried my hardest.
And then I felt, and then because I was her first, felt obligated to have sex with her like whenever she wanted. And of course, once I opened that door, she wanted to have it all the time, and she was cool, but I just didn't like her. It was weird.
She needed the practice.
He was this super hot chick who was like a dude, though. You ever met a super hot chick who's like a dude?
Yes.
Those are lesbians, Sevan.
Yeah, she was crazy hot, but she was like, maybe she was a lesbian.
Did she like punch in the arm too hard or something after a joke? Like, God.
Just like she treated me like she was my big brother. You know what I mean? Like put me in a headlock and give me nookies, and she was smarter than me, and like she was more athletic than me, and like just everything. It was it was just.
Hey, dude, I hate to break this to you right now, like
Yeah.
on the show, but I think you were abused.
Oh, I was.
I think you should probably
find her, and
yeah, we should probably sue her for 83 million. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Fergie.
Sorry. You're gonna give me. Where's my money?
It was like that. Viagra says report an erection over 4 hours to your doctor. It happened to me. I'm calling the Sevan show. Oh yeah, I tried a couple of those once. Fuck. Do not take those. Do not take those. Fucking crazy. You better have just like 20 people lined up. I was coerced. Oh, if I would play the audio clip. I don't have it here.
Oh no, that's why. Don't play that.
Do you want to say something to me? Okay.
Today, Junior.
Okay. You good? You want to tell me something? Come here. Talk to me. Come here. Right there. Stay right there. Tell me. I don't want anyone to see you crying and then think I'm abusive, Dad. It's too much for the crowd to see you crying. What happened? Oh, okay. You were playing a board game with your mom last night, and now new kids, and you weren't finished, and then you went upstairs this morning, and that game has been wiped out, and new kids are playing the game? Okay. What if I play the board game with you afterwards, the show? Will that help? Make you feel better? Okay. I'll play with you right after the show. I love you. Okay, beat it. I mean, I love you.
That's SEMA or something? What's happening here?
Yeah, that dude's banging SEMA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Someone sent me that photo last night, and I showed it to one of my friends, and they're like, fuck, she's hot.
Oh. Okay.
And you know what I said?
What?
She's got a giant rack, too. We're not live, are we?
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
I love it.
Fat. Let's go. I don't know what this is. Fat. Objective. Fat. What's this one? Fat. Here we go. Oh, what's this guy got to say? What ethnicity is this guy? What did this guy do to his eyebrows?
It's like a faux scar.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
One thing a lot of Westerners don't understand about us Chinese people is that we're very direct with our use of adjectives. We call a spade, and we describe people just as they are without sugarcoating it or beating around the bush using euphemisms. And one common example is the word fat, because in China, if you're fat, people will often call you fat right in front of your face without meaning any offense. It's merely an objective observation of fact. And if you have a plus-sized wife or sister or friend...
Wait, pause. So he went from saying the word fat to then plus size. Did you see that? But he says we people, but then, okay, go ahead. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Because shopping, you take it to the fat shop.
Be fat. Fat girls. Fatty fat girl. Love calories. Moo.
I love how it starts at XL too. It doesn't start at like double XL. It starts at XL and above.
Hey, that goes back to how we started the show. Like, just like we're not speaking clearly to each other. We're willing to do facts or to worry about people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing skinny albino black guy that writes the pop psychology books, Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh yeah.
In this book that in one of the books that he wrote, he talks about 2 airline pilots who are flying over New York City.
Yeah, South Korean airline pilots, right?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
And they're in a big old 740, and they're circling the airport waiting to land. And the co-pilot knows that the plane's running out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this strong cultural foundation that he has, that you never speak up to your superiors, he doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the plane goes down, and everyone in the plane dies.
Mm-hmm.
We have that that's happening every single. There's like a mass around just the injection. There's just a fucking mass genocide happening around this country because people aren't just telling the truth, because they're afraid of the cultural stigma,
or just taking authority's word as gospel, and it has to be right.
And you know what I think? I think more people love Trump than say, and that most people just default to, well, he's better than the other guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because since I've been born, that's always what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
No one in my circle of my sphere is always like, man, I really like that guy. I'm all behind him. It's like, well, he's the best out of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
They hate your freedom.
Who? Oh, you're talking about the notes.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good guess. Okay. This is crazy. This is fucking nuts. Have you seen this? This is a football player, CJ Stroud. I think that's professional football.
Yep.
NFL. And they edited out his first sentence. I mean, someone had to. If anyone knows anything about editing, you have to work hard to do this. You have to go out of your way to do this. Watch this. This is crazy. The original version is on the left, and then the edited version on the right. Here we go.
Season and a record-setting performance for you. What does this moment mean?
I mean, it's been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been. But first and foremost, I just want to give all glory and praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been amazing.
Season and a record-setting performance.
Play that one more time. I want to watch the edit. Play that one more
For
time.
you. What does this moment mean?
I mean, it's been amazing.
No, so in the original, the camera zooms in and he thanks Jesus Christ. That's the long-haired dude that the Christians dig.
Lord and Savior.
Yeah. They just straight fucking don't give a fuck. Is there a caller, Souza?
Yep. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So, question. Wanted to see what you guys, what was your input on that one? So I was over here trying to sign up for the CrossFit Open, right? Hashtag YOLO.
Hashtag the Sevan Podcast. Hashtag the Sevan Podcast. Fuck Hiller.
Our gym. hey, nobody said nothing about Hiller, right? But whatever. So yeah, I'm over here trying to do. The last 2 years I've been part of an affiliate, right? So this year it was like, yeah, same deal. But for some reason, the fucking affiliate's not there. Do you think it was the affiliate's job, responsibility to fucking let the members know that they're no longer affiliated, or is it
Wait, do you go to the affiliate? Do you go to the affiliate?
Yeah.
So you showed up in the
6
door,
days a week.
and the door was just locked?
No.
I'm missing something.
So let's just,
when he signed up for the
they de-affiliated. They de-affiliated.
Oh, they
They're no longer
de-affiliated.
affiliated.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're still in service and everything. We still got classes and everything. It's all good.
Right.
Getting my fitness on, but originally I signed up. Been there. What?
Caller,
maybe
can I
going
ask
3
you?
years.
Caller, let me just see something real quick. So you belonged to a gym, and it was a CrossFit affiliate, and then you went to sign up for the Open, and you looked for your affiliate in the drop-down menu, and you didn't find it. And then when you did some further investigating, you realized, oh, they're no longer an affiliate.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the gym never told us or told me or anybody that I know of, members at the gym, that we're not.
This is a really interesting question. This is I don't know how to answer this one. You got thoughts on this, Souza?
But it kind of CrossFit branding.
Here's a trippy caller.
Yeah, they dropped the CrossFit brand because I noticed the brands on the logos on the outside when you go inside it doesn't say CrossFit anymore. It says fitness.
Let me ask you this before we dig in. I have a couple questions for you. How does that outside of the open? Do you care if they're a CrossFit affiliate or not? Not besides that they're not in the open. Like why do you care? And I mean that with all sincerity. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Let's just say, honestly, I think I would lean more towards I don't care.
Okay.
But initially, when I signed up, I signed up because it was CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
But now, we've gone through the motions. I know what it is. I listen to you guys daily. The methodology, Greg Glassman. Pretty involved. I like it. I love it. I live for it. But let me read you. Let me read you this comment here really quick. Mike McCaskey says they have no responsibility to tell you they're not an affiliate. I would say this. I think Mike has that worded wrong. I think they have no obligation to tell you they're not an affiliate, but they do have a responsibility. And when I say responsibility, I mean their ability to respond to a situation. Here's the thing. You feel a little betrayed, right? Because we do feel like a community, and you go there and you've dedicated your time and your money and you like all the people there, and it's more to you than just a place that you lift weights. It's sort of like it's your boys club and your girls club. And so you feel a little betrayed. Correct.
You feel a little like there's a little bit of dishonesty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe not dishonesty. I believe that would be like betrayal, but maybe like a heads up. Be like, oh yeah, guys, just an FYI, we're no longer, or maybe just like bring it up. It's like, did anybody notice that we're not CrossFit on our banner or whatever? I was like, okay. That way. I think it was just a hard way to find out.
Like when I came home with the motorcycle. When I came home with the motorcycle and didn't tell my wife I was buying it.
Yeah.
Went to the Harley Davidson dealership and came home with a motorcycle. To this day, I struggle with that. I probably should. I struggle with that. Those are the two. I got in trouble for setting up an arm wrestling table in the living room once, and then coming home with the motorcycle. Those are the only two things that my wife's ever been like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
The motorcycle one's pretty big.
And I was like, telling my wife, I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And she's like, "You have 10 motorcycles in the garage." I go, "Yeah, but I don't have a Harley." I tiptoed out of the room. I didn't think I was going to win that one.
That's rough.
I was thinking more like shopping at Walmart instead of buying the good brand. You just buy the good value, right? It's the same thing, but it's not the same brand.
Interesting. Yeah. How long since they've changed their banner? Because you mentioned it did say CrossFit, but now it says fitness. Like, how long has that been?
Not sure. I can't.
Have you talked about it with any members? Have you talked about it with any other members?
Not the members. I just brought it up to the owner yesterday. Just brief questions like, "Hey, I signed up to the open and I noticed that we're not on there anymore." It's like, "Oh yeah, we de-affiliated." I was like, "Oh, well, that's good to know."
Hey, are you going to do the open at the? You're going to do the open at the gym though, right? Are they going to have a place for people to do the open?
Well, it's not going to be validated, right? Or can it be? The scores count or no?
My understanding is that they've set it up so that anyone can do the open now, no matter what, anywhere. Like, I'm just going to do it in my garage, and I'm going to count my own reps, and I'm not going to have a judge or nothing. Actually, I don't know. Part of me is like wants to grow a set of balls and go up to Annie Sakamoto's gym because it's right down the street from my house. I just want to do that to show off to the viewers of this show. I think they'd get a kick out of that.
Wait, we should ask if we could do it on Saturday mornings, and I'll see if I could come out there and film one of them.
I can set up my iPhone.
Members only.
I don't know. That's a great question, dude. It's funny. In all the talk that we've talked about, I've never heard that question asked. Should the owner, Susan, would you tell, if you de-affiliated, would you tell your clients?
Well, we would kind of have to by choice because it's CrossFit Livermore. So like if we de-affiliated and like weren't going to lie about it or misuse the methodology, right, and still have it, then it would be very obvious because our name would have to change.
Caller, are you married?
Yes.
Okay.
To a woman.
To a fair. And if you have the accent that makes it sound like you sound really close-minded and like you would only marry a woman, just so you know, you don't sound like very open-minded a guy who would marry a man. If you had been banging your wife's sister prior to you getting married, would you feel obligated to tell her that before you got married? Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, yeah. Okay,
So somewhere, my point is that somewhere there is like some sort of like, there is some sort of obligation. Hold on, let me see what Patrick Clark says about this before I go in talking about your wife's sister. Patrick Clark, but Sevan is right. It's a responsibility and not an obligation, but it's definitely bad practice to do that. That's tough, dude. Because here's the thing, I'm feeling for the owner, because it's like, hey, do I really want to open up that bag of, like if I found out I had COVID, I wouldn't tell. I'm not going to tell anyone. I wouldn't even tell my wife, probably. Like, I don't even care. But if I came home and I had AIDS, I'd feel obligated to tell her.
And the other thing too, it's probably like it's not that big of a gym. It's actually the garage, right? I mean, the classes is maybe 10 people max. So I mean, it's not. I don't think, and like I'm pretty sure like the majority of the members there, they don't even know who Jeff Adler is or Laura Horvath.
Oh, you sound like Sousa. Jesus Christ. Sousa's, oh my goodness.
It sounds like the truth of what's happening in most gyms. Reality's not the way I want it to be.
Listen, no one knows who Jeff Adler is, but they know who Tia is, don't they, caller?
No.
Oh, fuck, I hate you.
I mean, I sport the CEO brand all the time. I show up, it's like nobody fucking notices. It's like, man, whatever.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, so.
Hey, man, that's a great question. Really cool that's the best question we've had. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what affiliate owners think about that. That's a great question. Are you gonna what are you gonna do about the Open then? You're signed up. You got to just figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 other gyms that are relatively close to where I'm at, where I could go do it. But yeah. I mean,
hey, you want
to just fucking do it?
You want to hear something cool? We got on Thursday nights after they announce the Open, we're gonna go live and we're gonna talk about the Open. And then on Friday, we're going to start a series. It's going to be the biggest fucking thing in CrossFit. It's going to be in the CrossFit Games this year. It's called Taylor versus the World. And I think we have Dallin Pepper week 1. We have Dallin Pepper week 1 versus Taylor live in person. Week 2, we have Jason Hopper versus Taylor Self. Week 2 in person. And week 3, Colton Mertens versus Taylor Self. And we got a fucking huge sponsor. And I was thinking about this the other day. How cool is it for this sponsor that they have their own Open? The KY Jelly fucking CrossFit Games Open. Someone else, like, you know what I mean? Like we're doing this is the greatest coup ever that we're pulling off here. This is fucking gonna be sorry, Zach Jones, the Coca-Cola California Peptides CrossFit Games Open 24.1 out of CrossFit Charlotte, Taylor Self versus Dallin Pepper. I mean, this is fucking nuts. I can't even believe we're doing this. This is going to be like, I don't know if you guys see the sponsorship implications of what we're doing. I don't know why no one's ever done this before. I don't know why Nike hasn't done this. I don't know why anyone hasn't done this. Anyone can do it. You can just be your own massive open event at a gym, and we're going to stream it. And we're going to have the best commentators in the business. Get fucking John Young in there. Fucking, it's going to be wild. And then afterwards, JR will facilitate. He kind of looks like Dave Castro, but fit. And he'll facilitate a conversation between Taylor and the people he went against. Dude, it's going to be
awesome.
I can't even fucking believe it. But for those of you who are in the sponsorship space, this is like a mega coup. This is like, wow. Right? Because someone else probably paid CrossFit $1 million to have like the CrossFit, I don't know who, whatever, CrossFit Open sponsored by blah blah blah. But we're just we're just gonna do one too. I'm just so excited.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dope. It's gonna be wild.
Kind of.
Hey, what state?
Standy vibes there.
What getting what vibes?
Standy vibes.
Yeah, it feels like I'm getting a standy when I talk about it. Hey, what state do you live in?
Colorado.
And what? Wow, you don't sound like you're from Colorado.
What do I sound like?
Just something in the South somewhere. Like you sound like one of those white dudes that talks like a black dude, like my friend Travis Bajan. Hey, what do you drive? You drive American car.
What do I drive? Ford, yeah.
Yeah, and your muffler's kind of fucked up. And your muffler could probably use it changing.
No.
All right.
No.
You have a bed liner or you go raw dog?
Raw dog.
Yep. Fucking knew it. This dude is gangster as shit. Just no bed liner.
Nailed it.
What a fucking
damn. Living life on the edge.
You just gotta what you got? 4 corners, you flip it upside down.
Hey, when you're at home, like starting your fucking wood burning stove, I'm at macrumors.com fucking looking at the newest Mac gear. That's the difference between me and you. Your testosterone level is probably like 30 points higher than mine.
Oof. Yeah,
like you throw shit in the back of your truck, like I put down like a moving blanket every time I put anything in the back of a truck. Yeah, me and you, we're not even in the same.
The one you kept from the U-Haul?
Yeah, you're like we're both dogs, but I'm a Chihuahua and you're like a fucking wolf. But I'm a canine.
A wolf?
Yeah, you're like a wolf. You're like
okay.
You're a high order canine. I'm fucking a Chihuahua. I wear a sweater. and you chewed your leg off in a bear trap. I just know it.
Oh goodness.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Don't let that shit get in your head. You're too much of a man to worry about that shit. Let us fucking femboys worry about that shit.
Fair enough. Sounds good, man. Well, thanks for the help. And,
all right. Thanks for calling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One more thing. What kind of phone are you talking on? Are you talking on a CB? Like, what the fuck's up with your audio? What are you talking on?
Does it sound like shit or what?
Oh my God, it sounds horrible. What is it? what device is that? You have an Android?
It's yes, sir. Android phone, Android fucking earbuds. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I failed.
Nah, I love it. I just love it. I'm glad that men of your caliber would dare to call into the show and listen to the show. It makes me happy. I just picture everyone who listens to the show being soft. I appreciate you holding it down for the
call in to find out if the fucking phone line works, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
You sure do.
Doing your part.
All right.
I see all the time. It's like, well, the phone's not working or the banner's not flying. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? But I still show up every day.
Thank you. Best podcast in the biz. Thank you.
Well, fuck yeah.
All right. Later,
fellas,
brother.
You guys have a good one.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Later. It's kind of weird that the gym wouldn't tell him. Like I saw a couple people ask, like, what I would 100% tell my members. I'd be like,
they don't want to do. I don't blame them though. They don't want to
front.
deal with it. They don't want to deal with the drama, right?
No, but you still just like, and I'm not saying like I start each class with like, hey guys, we have some news. Like I'm talking about it's just like the last line item on the email, the monthly email that goes out, and it's either like you clicked it and you read it and you open it, or you didn't. Like, you know, you want to make and here's the deal too. If you have that relationship with your members, like they're at your gym for you anyways. So chances are you'll have a few outliers that are like, oh, I really wanted to come to a CrossFit gym. And then you'll have a bunch of other people that are like, well, we don't really care what it says. Like, it's still our gym.
Right.
So.
Oh, did we get a link from, did we get a link from?
A link or send a link to?
Oh, maybe send a link to and see what happens.
Hold on.
Hey, in the sponsor we got for the Open, I live in these the sponsor shoes. I live in them. They're the only shoes I wear when I put shoes on now. When I put shoes on.
No spoiler alerts.
I know. I'm so excited.
I
And so
know.
it's such a fucking crazy fit.
Must be Nike.
Have you? Caleb, no spoilers.
Oh yeah, doses. Make sure you sign up. I need your money. CEO membership. Get it.
Do I not even have the phone number?
No. You guys will never guess. Oh yeah.
Are they guessing? Who are they guessing?
Oh yeah, they are guessing.
No, they don't know. They don't know.
All right.
I don't see New Balance on any one of those.
New Balance makes me 2 inches taller.
The spring shoes. Like, do you have the contact? I don't know why it's not popping up my phone, so I don't have
Yeah, let
person
me
to email
see.
to, which is really weird. Does that happen to you? You like search contacts that you know you have, and it's like,
yes, yeah. And I fold up newspaper and put it in there to make me taller.
You already got a 2-inch lift on these suckers.
Jethro. Oh, he
Kurt's
doesn't
on
pop up on my computer.
Kurt, that's what's happened with me too. I have his.
I'm gonna send it to our chat and then go to my phone.
We got a two-part process here.
Copy. This Jethro's got some homies at the Oh, Jethro's on a droid too. Jesus.
Yeah.
Are all cops on droid? Is that a first responder phone?
No, I think the government gives them iPhones, but
there we go.
They just choose to have Androids as personal.
Ah. Okay, we'll see if he yeah, that didn't give him much time because I'm ready to get off.
I know. That was me too. I completely forgot about that. I should have set an alarm on my phone.
I thought Greg was gonna come on today.
I was hoping he would. I thought we
He's
might
he's upstairs. It's just that I get up when I get up, the house is completely black. But I told him last night.
That's the best. I love that. I love that. Like wake up before everybody else. Do you like that? Just have that. You got the whole thing to yourself. You know, go pour the coffee early. Just kind of sit.
That was see you tomorrow. Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh.
Well, don't use that. Don't use that link.
Oh, don't use that link then. Don't use that link. I thought it was today. I thought it was today. Oh. I am. By the way, that's one of the things that's really important as a parenting tip. Also, if you are a parent with young children, you should always get up before your children. So you never want to be. You need to be up and functioning before your children. That's like good parenting 101. Oh, Sleeky's going to say it. Oh, you've already told us that. You've already told us that. I love Coeur d'Alene. It's fucking amazing. I went to a store the other day and it was just 2 rows, I told you guys, of bullets. Not locked up. You can load your shopping cart. You can do whatever you want. It's just like, it's like the, now I understand coming from California, just how, I mean, I knew we were stupid, but they're always like, hey, we need to outlaw the guns. We need to outlaw the bullets. That's not those. It's the people. It's like, dude, this place is like completely free. Everyone's nice. There's no trash on the ground. There's no fucking carjacking. The bullets are just like aisle 6 and then next to it's kids' bathing suits. You know what I mean? It's just like, seriously, it's like that.
That's crazy. From like California to that, it's a different world.
Yeah, in California, they got fucking the deodorant locked up, dude.
Yeah, they got the salads locked up now. Gotta fucking ring somebody. Hi, can you get my salad out of this thing? Because I'm the only idiot paying for shit still. Oh, you guys are closing next week because so many people have stolen shit. Guess I'll get my groceries on Amazon.com.
Dude, in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., what did I see? I saw a CVS. They can't keep anything on the shelves, so they're closing. I saw that yesterday.
It's not due to policies. It's not due to that. It's not because it's democratic. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, everyone here is packing. Yeah.
Packing down.
They allow open carry there?
In California?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know in
no,
Idaho, but
in Idaho.
In Washington, I saw people open carrying when I flew over there.
It's constitutional.
Open
carry. That everywhere. It's great.
Just wait till Amazon stops delivering to certain places. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I'm not. I'm Sevan, are you shopping for a house? No. I'm at Greg's house the other day. I'm at Greg's house now. And the other day my kid said to me, maybe it was last night, he's like, can we get a house like this? Like, not unless we get another 10,000 members.
You gonna make us famous, boy?
Yeah.
What are you contributing?
Yeah.
Get out there on that skateboard.
Do a kickflip.
You know what I did see in the comments though that I'm acutely aware of is if what percent of your members know who T is? What were you going to say? Did you say like 5%?
Yeah, it's low.
Okay, so if there's 200 people in your gym, let's say, just for easy math,
Yep.
and so only 10 of them know who T is. So if you think about it this way, that means only 1% of the people, and I'm probably grossly exaggerating, know of this podcast. Do you know how happy that makes me?
I would say now more people in my gym talk about the podcast or the behind the scenes to me. First off, ever in the last 3 years, but way more than any games athlete. Games
Well, that
athletes,
you're
come
kind
and
of a
go,
bad
dude.
you're a bad test though for that because it's your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it was funny because most of them didn't before, and I don't really talk about it that much. And now they all do.
Oh, interesting.
There's like your sticker on people's water bottles and shit. Like I turn and see, and you're like on this. I'm like, ah.
Oh wow.
They wear CEO shirts in.
So what's crazy is think of the growth potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's massive, but they can't get out of their own way to fucking do it. Nobody can.
So when we would release the games docs, they would be number one on iTunes. They would skyrocket. They'd be number one on Netflix. And this podcast, just with the CrossFit community, has that potential.
Mm-hmm.
Rosie Photography. Very few at my CrossFit gym know about the CrossFit Games.
I do not have CEO shirts for sale at the gym, although we should. Got a CEO flag.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Did I see it?
Probably not, because there was a bunch of stuff. Like Grace just went through and like hung a bunch of new things and like kind of revamped that front room a little bit after our 10-year.
What percentage of affiliate owners know who Sevan is? I bet 50%. Probably a lot. I don't know what the number is, but probably way more know who I am than know I have a podcast.
Well, I could say this. I had 2 meetings last week, yesterday and the day before, and I was just meeting the people for the first time in these meetings. And both of them said like, hey, it's cool to like get to meet you now in person. I feel like I already know you because of the podcast. And I wouldn't have expected that from either of these 2 people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What were the meetings? Were the meetings at CrossFit meetings?
Yes, one yes and one no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air, but yeah, that was interesting.
How much is Grace involved in running the gym?
Fuck.
Careful how you answer that. Double, whatever you think it is, double it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really is, like, especially right now with her nutrition challenge. It's like, fuck, she does so much. But yeah, it's a lot. She coaches at this point way more classes than I do. All the community events, any of the good ideas that we end up doing are all driven by her. So, you know, I would argue that she probably does way more than I do at this point.
Episode 7 was awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I haven't seen it. I need to see it.
Oh, it's good.
And episode 8 is right around the corner. And the Colton Mertens Wadapalooza doc soon. Okay, final word. Jake Chapman, who lives on the Isle of Man. Our island has 84,000 people on it. We have 500 members. Holy shit.
That's amazing.
Does Jake own the gym? He does. Right?
How'd you do that, Jake? How'd you do that?
Jake, that's your gym? How come I've never had Jake on?
If he owns that gym, we for sure need to get him scheduled.
Doesn't he own like 3 gyms?
I can't remember.
Oh, not mine. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Right.
Dude, that's insane. 84,000 people with 500 members. That's crazy. No, Jake, don't call in. No, don't do it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.